Senior members of the South African Police Service were involved in a big crime prevention operation on the west rand of Joburg today, the Krugersdorp area. Remember the issues around the illegal miners. Remember the 8 women who were gang raped there, the large number of illegal miners who were arrested. In the end, most of the people who were suspects were found not to have been involved in the attack, while police did also try to break down the illegal mining settlements in that area. Lieutenant General Elias Mawela is the Gauteng Provincial Commissioner for the South African Police Service. He's actually come into our studios now. Mr. Commissioner, I really appreciate the time. Thank you very much indeed. What operation did he carry out today?
Thank you very much, Stephen, for the opportunity given to us. Yes, as usually, Thursday we go out there, Operation Okaimolao, our integrated multidisciplinary operation. And today, the province, we decided to can go to Krugersdorp and Meldersdrift. You'll recall that we do the simultaneous operation in Tshwane, Ekurhuleni, Sedibeng, Johannesburg. They were also busy with their Operation Okaimolao. But the first phase of Operation Okaimolao, usually we sent out the detectives to can go and look for wanted suspects. Those wanted suspects include those newly registered cases whereby the complainants, they know who are the people who have robbed them or assaulted them and so forth. But we are so happy that the detectives have managed to arrest 1,066 from yesterday, 1800 hours until 3 o'clock this morning. And then in that number, it includes 266 of suspects who were directly involved with gender-based violence-related cases. So we are happy with what they've done. But coming to the operation which we were doing today, we have managed to arrest 184 suspects for different kinds of crime. You know, those who find them with illegal stuff suspected to be stolen, drugs, liquor dealers without the permits and so forth, and 148 undocumented persons.
In the months since the rape attack in Krugersdorp, and you remember, I mean, you were very involved. I remember watching you on TV, talking to our journalists at the time. The community's actually told us, and I've heard people say there's still illegal mining in that area. They still hear gunshots at night. Is that true?
No, it is true. Illegal mining is still happening. We do arrest a lot of people, but the challenge is that we arrest the runners, and they are easily being replaced. You arrest those who are digging there, those who are handling them, they bring another 10 to can continue with their duties. Even today, we visited that area where you'll recall where a lot of 21 miners, they were drowned and so forth. So today, I also went to that particular space to can check what is the situation. I've also engaged the geologist who's working there. He said, no, you know, when we report off duty and leave, and I'm talking about the active mine. Yeah, when we leave here, after hours, these people, they come, they continue with their stuff. And remember, it is in the control space. But we continue to do our part. The good thing is that the DPCI is now focusing on level 3 to 5, those who are handling these runners, those who are dealing with these things after they've removed the minerals and then they are receiving and transporting it, some outside the country and so forth. So the Hawks is focusing in on those ones.
So look, I mean, there must be hundreds of illegal mines in Gauteng. And I would never, you could pay me all the money in the world, I'd never put on the uniform that you're wearing now and go underground to try and stop it. Very difficult to do. But it is unfortunately your job, and you have to do something. So what are you able to do to try and stop illegal mining? It's incredibly violent, it's incredibly dangerous what's happening there. These are people who are desperate. Many of them are coming from countries even more poorer than ours. One in particular, they may even be linked to politics in that country. They're coming here, I mean, to live underground for 6 months, the most terrible life I can imagine, so they're desperate. You have to knock out the economic chain somehow.
Yeah, definitely. If we do have a plan, we call it the 5-pillar plan, of which we are implementing currently. But I'll focus on the last pillar, which we call it communication and stakeholder engagement. And that's where now we engage and also expect the mine owners to play their role. Because the police, we do pillar number 1, 2, 3, and 4. But this one, the last pillar, that's where we have engaged them directly to say, look, this is your responsibility to assist us. Amongst the others, to strengthen, harden the security around the mines, ensure that they put together the securities to ensure that it is not easily being accessed. And again, those abandoned and derelicted mines, we expect the Department of Mineral and Energy to can now begin with their work to rehabilitate those mines. So if each and every one of us begin to do their part, it will be easy for us with pillar number 1, which is mostly proactive policing. The pillar number 1 is intelligence. That's where now the intelligence operators, they are collecting information for us. They tell us that, there is a Kumbi, it has delivered the new ones. This is the place where they are sleeping and so forth. So we go with disruption operation and deal with those ones. And pillar number 2, that's the hardcore policing, whereby now we go there full force, find them in their working space and then start to disrupt them, remove their stuff, their pendukas, their generators. At times we even find the explosives in that particular space, and we deal with those. And then when we come to the other pillars of the detectives, the generic detectives, for those whom we have just arrested, and the organized part, the one which I was telling you about, led by the DPCI, to can begin to deal with the main handlers, the main big boss who are sitting in the upper room.
It's always the big person that's the hardest to catch, isn't it? It really is. And he's got a generator. He's not suffering from load shedding right now.
True. Some of the big shots, you won't even find them in the country. They are elsewhere. And those who are working for him or her, you'll find them here in the suburbs, seated nicely there. There's no problem with that. And then those ones are the ones who come very quick. When these ones are arrested, you can arrange legal assistance for these people, arrange the bail for these people.
The festive season starts, it doesn't feel like it because of the politics, but it starts next week, right? The 16th is next week. What plans do you have in place for that? There's going to be a lot more cash. At this time of year, there's a lot more cash moving around. People are taking cash to their families. People are buying things. There used to be a lot more cash in transit heists. Those have changed. What are your plans for the festive season in Gauteng?
The vibe has already started, actually. From October, we have started to see that, the mood has changed. And the criminals are daring. They are out there. It's hectic, extremely hectic out there. They go there. They are forcing their way in, and they are so violent. But we did put some plans in place. One of those, to make some money available to pay over time for those members will be on their rest day, so that we can increase at least our boots on the ground, complement those who are on duty, so that normal day-to-day policing is not interrupted. And over and above that, we mobilize our reservists, we mobilize our patrollers. We also pay our reservists for these duties. The patrollers, the MEC, have also put aside some stipends for these patrollers so that we can deploy them in the malls, in the transport hubs, also in the parks. This time of the year, you find in those public parks, the young children, you'll find them, drinking alcohol. You find some of them, that's where the drug dealers, they go and tout them and supply them with drugs. So we must also take care of those. And again, we have the fleet of high-powered vehicles which we have deployed now for 24/7 on the strategic roads to can do the unexpected roadblocks and vehicle checkpoints. We deal with those things. And over and above that, all of us, the big shots in the police, the boots on the ground, to can complement the members on the ground, working with them. We believe that will make some difference. But the challenge is that this time of the year, there's a lot of events which are going on in our province specifically, let alone the big one which is going to happen, the ANC conference, but there is a lot of events which are going on. We don't have any problem with those events because people for the past 2 years, they never enjoyed themselves and even the organizers of those people, they are out of jobs, so this is the time whereby they need to make some money. So we must also put some resources around that to can assist and police those, because we find a lot of irresponsible alcohol consumers in that particular space.
Lieutenant General, I really appreciate the time, sir. Thank you very much indeed. Lieutenant General Elias Mawela is the Gauteng Provincial Police Commissioner.